we're going to talk about Stephen Moran today.
Mm. I really hate that guy, by the way. Sorry.
I hate that motherfucker too. I hate that motherfucker so much. I'm drinking a real Diet Coke for this shit.
All right, man. We're going for the high octane stuff. All right. Good.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's just go right into it. I mean, here, I had to bring up my notes. By the way, I have notes about this motherfucker.
Good, because I can't remember everything either. So it's like, yeah.
No.
I
got you covered. I got you covered. It's gonna suck though.
That's fine. That's good.
Yeah, just be aware it's gonna suck.
Hey, anything to show that guy to the nearest wood chipper, I'm fine with. So,
yeah, it's good though. All right, so let's just sort of go through his bullshit. By the way, Lisa, if you could come in as a co-host, just tell me when that's possible. Lisa Third Estate, and we'll make that happen. All right, so here's the thing. So, here's the controversies around Moran, even before I go into the article that I wrote about Moran. He has accused Jerome Powell of being wrong politically and economically for recommending major stimulus in 2020.
okay.
And then hold on. He co-authored a paper claiming the Fed has operated against the best practices of central bank independence, which is fucking bullshit.
That's factually wrong. I would take him on any day on that one.
Right.
Yeah.
We
can talk about why, but yeah.
Yeah, and then he proposed making Fed board a Fed board of governors position that are at will appointments, fireable by the president.
Yeah, great idea. We can send that. We could send the entire United States back to about the year 1790, right there, and with just that move, no credit. We don't need any loans from foreign countries, no money, nothing. So, yep.
All right. So then, he was nominated by Trump as Fed governor, despite being viewed as a potential shadow chair.
Okay.
Which, yeah, right. And then Liz Warren has repeatedly accused Moran of being a Trump loyalist who would essentially, and I'm just going to say it this way, suck Trump's dick without a thought. Rather than being an independent person functioning within the hierarchy of the Fed.
Yeah.
So that's why I called him a dick arsonist.
That's awesome. What a great label. My God.
So Moran has this love affair with tariffs.
I know.
And so he doesn't just support Trump's mouth anus trade war. He
forget the rancid part of that rancid mouth anus. Sorry.
Yes. He is the architect of the Trump tariff plan. His formula for reciprocal tariffs has and we're talking about a guy that has a PhD from Harvard.
Yeah, yeah. He's got at least the paper, right? The piece of paper that says he's smart. So, hey, Sarah.
So his formula for reciprocal tariffs are confusing. And like they said, this is not how this works. You're going to ruin things. And he didn't listen. And so he doesn't just want to like
Wendy,
American.
Yeah, you saw that comment. Sorry, just Lisa said she was ready. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, Lisa, we'll bring you in then. Okay, great. Wendy Parker, you did not need to end your live early because I'm doing my live now, and I feel really bad if you ended your life prematurely, Wendy Parker, I'll bring you in for social hour with Brandon if Brandon shows up. I'll bring you in for social hour regardless, Wendy Parker. So, all right. So,
hello, good evening.
Are you are you working?
Me? No, I'm at home.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm all good.
Okay. So he doesn't just want to light American trade policy on fire. He wants to burn it to the ground. Completely to the ground. And so he has repeatedly and viscerally attacked the Biden administration by co-authoring a paper with Rabini, accusing Biden's Treasury of manipulating debt markets before the 2024 election, which is all bullshit, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Like nobody believes this. And so he then claimed that there is an economic consensus against that the economic consensus against tariffs is wrong, and that tariff models by the uneducated are flawed. And that he's the only one that's educated enough to initiate tariff policy that will not destroy the economy.
Right. And I really want to add that. I want to put a pin right in that, because I'll tell you why. That nobody will follow him onto that branch of that tree, and with his saw in hand that he's cutting off that branch with behind him. And that's the thing, this guy, that makes me so worried about this guy's literal fanaticism about tariffs. It is so destructive for us as a country to be having this particular gentleman, him and Peter Navarro, together are like toxic waste. I mean, and then you add in Lutnick on top of that, and then I think probably in that stack of sane economic advisors, I can't even say this with a straight face, but I actually think Scott Bessent comes out on top as probably the most put together guy out of that whole club. And I'm not saying in the world, I'm just saying out of that club of advisors. It is absolutely terrifying how terrifying. Yeah, it is terrifying. Where did that word come from? It is the amazement of me to sit there and go, wow, we have got this guy steps away from the Oval Office with Trump's ear, who does some of the most batshit things in the world now in his second term I've ever seen.
Hi, Laura.
So I'm terrified by the fact that he has this access, and he's also, Stephen Moran is also in that running for the Fed chair, and him and that other, who's it, Kevin Hassett. That's it. That clown.
He's a clown.
He is an absolute. I have a bunch of adjectives I can't use, but yeah,
he's not a clown. He's an ass clown.
He's an ass clown. And that takes it up to the level I was hoping for.
And then
right ahead, please.
On top of everything else, like Kevin Hassett, his voice just drives me nuts. It kind of has like an Elmer Fudd quality to it, on top of like I just can't stand him. But speaking of Scott Bessent, like you were talking about, I remember reading in the beginning of this whole tariff debacle, he was the one who actually got Trump to roll back from the electronics, like because he was going to put the tariffs like on like he was the one basically that he many times is the one that could like bring him back from the brink of absolute destruction so far.
Yep.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but and then go ahead.
Yeah. No, and then please continue.
I was just going to say that when you were talking about Trump's obsession with tariffs, I remember seeing old videos from there was one in particular. It was an Oprah interview from the 80s where he was talking about the Japanese car market.
And I remember that.
Since then, like I'm like, oh my God, that doesn't even make any sense. And he has this thing with, what is he called? The trade deficit, which is not at all the way that he explains it. They're
not trade deficits.
Yes, exactly.
Like, this whole bullshit about we have a 25% trade deficit. No, that just means they send more goods to us than we send back to them.
That's it.
That's not a trade deficit.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Are you stupid?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
Oh my God.
there's another angle to this I want to throw into the pot for thought, which is these guys all, especially Moran, for some reason seem to be hinged onto and latched onto an economy that lived and died between the years 1945 and 1962, somewhere about roughly there, when it was manufacturing steel pre job exports to Mexico, etc., other places, globalization taking over. And it is as if this is the thing I just don't understand, for even though those of us who aren't economists, those of us who do not have degrees in that from Harvard, it is still mind-boggling to think that a grown adult would believe, and this is Trump's mindset, okay, but he's an adult like guy that we can point to and go dementia. Okay, that guy, just put him on the side. This is not him. This is Stephen Moran. Stephen Moran is saying how we can go back there. We can actually go and take the entire economy and rewind it back. That is as crazy as the ghost of Thomas Jefferson showing up and saying we can make the world an agrarian Virginia again from where I came from. And let's all build, tobacco plantations, own slaves, and have everything there work just hunky-dory. It is that crazy,
ChatGPT will answer that.
I'm sorry, what?
My phone did that, and that's fucked up.
Oh, okay.
My phone did that, and that's fucked up.
Did it hear Siri and what I said somewhere?
Yes, it hit.
Yeah,
God damn it, Rick! Quit fucking taking over my goddamn phone.
Sorry, I'm a virus. But yeah, that time travel bit back to the 1950s.
Yep.
First of all, Trump is obsessed with that time period in history because that was when, I guess, it was better days for him. There's lots of reasons. I'm sure, Wendy, you could write probably a book about that thick in no time flat of all of the things that add up to that period and his obsession with it, and why, from a clinical perspective, it is insane. And then the people around him, you take Navarro, he is also similarly obsessed with thinking that we can get back to a manufacturing based steel, like just good old, let's, grab your lunchbox, go to work, work in the steel factory. And I grew up one town away from a very large, sorry, go ahead. Just put one quick comment. I grew up in one town away, like 10 miles away from a very large steel town in the Midwest. And it was that world of pick up your lunch. Everybody had jobs. And I'll tell you what, I live in the remnants of all that, where those houses are falling down. They have to tear them down. Nobody lives there. I truly, the iconic Rust Belt, right? And to think that we could go back to that is like thinking, first of all, it just never would happen. Anybody that's been here, they could, will tell you that's absolutely insane. Nobody's going to work those jobs. Nobody wants to. I mean, people are actually, it was painful to go through, and they don't want to run the risk of it all. And then the third and final point I'll make about Moran is he is running with the idea that these tariffs are great. And here's the biggest problem with it. The biggest of all the other things I said. We're talking, to use a Jeff Tiedrickism, all those tariffs can go fuckity by with one judicial ruling against them, because he's using a bunch of justifications to do them through executive order, which is why all the CEOs in the country are like, we're not going to expand manufacturing here. Why would we do that when if Trump dropped over dead and for some reason JD Vance, ascended, he could have a completely different view on things and he could change his mind. So without legislation, that's why tariffs are as difficult and as slow as they're intended to be, as a messy process and a very slow process to affect change inside of the economy. They were never intended to be weaponized the way they are now. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit on my soapbox about it because it's a topic I'm passionate about, because I will tell you, I think out of all the bullshit that we're dealing with right now, that one thing was it was a little tiny red hot white flag, I guess, white, red hot flag, some combination of hot colors to me a long time ago. And I see it coming, and I'm seeing it manifest itself in the grocery stores and in Walmart. I was there today. It's like the prices are going up and up and up, and we're just seeing the beginning. It is really going to kick us all in the stomach here real fast. And I'm sorry to say that, because I also have one other comment, and people might roast me for this, and that's fine. I'll take it, which is, I think that this tariff situation will be the one thing that actually induces the pain required to make the mass population wake up and go, holy shit, this guy wasn't kidding around when he said he was going to do that crazy tariff stuff. And no, he's not a taco guy anymore. And yes, he's listening to his advisors. And it does come right back to what you're talking about with Stephen Moran. I mean, without Moran, this stuff would have no fuel on the fire to burn, but it does. So please, whatever you think.
I should point out that Aaron raises a fascinating point. It's so bad with the tariff trade bullshit that distilleries are going bankrupt.
Oh my God. Wow.
So if Jack Daniels goes belly up, I mean, not that I drink that shit, but if like my 3 like bourbon or scotch distilleries go belly up, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. If I can't get my brown water, we're gonna have problems.
Spoken like only you could say that, Wendy. That's awesome. I love the way you put that.
But the thing that I was going to raise your attention, Rick, you're going off on that rant, and literally Elaine, the angry feminist, is agreeing with you.
Oh.
So that means yes, you're probably right.
Yeah. I agree with you too, Rick, in terms of the tariffs being. I keep telling my sister, because she is a little bit more, she doesn't have much faith that people are going to see like what's happening. I think there is going to be a small percentage, unfortunately, that are going to remain in the cult no matter what happens. But in my opinion, I don't know if this is denial on my part, I feel like that percentage will be small. But many of his supporters, like, it won't be until they actually feel it that they're going to be like, right? Like, I mean, that's just what my thinking right now. And to go into, like, you were talking about the 40s and 50s, he says, to me, this is my opinion, he says this to his supporters, like everything else in his grift, where everything is a lie. Like, everything is about him and about his billionaire buddies, right?
Right.
So the 40s and 50s are like this message to his base about, like, yeah, things were so great back then for the middle class, because we all know after FDR, not that FDR was a complete saint, but when it came to, what he did for the middle class, I mean, that was the most successful time period for the middle class. But what Trump keeps talking about, and what I think is what he really wants to go back to, is that Gilded Age. And when these idiots talk about, we're going to go back to the Gilded Age, man. I'm like, dude, do you have any idea? Like, the masses were destitute during the Gilded Age. That was the robber barons. What are you talking about? Yeah.
That was Shantytown in New York. I mean, in the Bronx, you look at that. That's where you were led. People were using their soup cans to collect pennies, right? It was crazy. So yeah, I'm totally.
Here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
Fucking Moran buys into the bullshit, and he's actually been quoted as saying this. That America has Dutch disease over dollar dominance.
Okay.
And so he argues that dollar strength hollows out manufacturing while enriching Wall Street. And I'm like, how? And then his protectionist, isolationist bullshit is contrary to modern economic consensus. And he says, he says this, I love this. We can win trade wars through superior economic leverage. So basically,
leverage to what?
Yeah, right. If we hold everybody hostage, we can win the trade wars.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing. If they it's already been proven. If they go to war with China over trade, that will not work out the way they think that's going to work out.
Correct.
Oh, yeah. That's the problem. When you said, with what, Wendy Parker, that was a great comment, because let me tell you something. Here's what's actually happening right now, and I know you guys. I will not. I promise. I will shut up when when my little eye glazing meter goes on. But this is an interesting story. This one is this. Okay, so Moran is operating along with Navarro and along to some degree with Lutnick on this premise that somehow or another the United States is this absolute nexus of trade for the world that can't be unwound very quickly. And what's actually happening in the real world, when I'm up at night writing my articles and watching, CNBC and the cross and their shows, what's happening is the dollar has been on a steady decline. We're down like 6% since April, and what's happening is the debt markets they're unloading the money. Basically, China's selling it, India's selling it, Russia has some of it through proxies that are selling it, and what that means in very, very simple, down to earth terms is that that is a huge indicator that says these guys are finding other paths to do trade around us, that we are just being removed from the equation. And it is going to be a tough and very painful lesson for all of us when we wake up and go, oh shit, now we've got the European Union making deals with India instead of making deals with us. And Japan already, by the way, is looking at the ink on the paper for their quote unquote trade deal. And they're going, wait a minute, we thought this, and now it's that, and it's screwed up. And so there's not a lot of trust in the United States at all to keep its own word. Number one. Number two, to follow through on these commitments. Number three, Trump has basically has put his thumb on the scale with each one of these countries and said, promise me you're going to invest hundreds of billions of dollars here, and that they go, yeah, okay, sure, we will. And they're thinking, yes, over the whole infinity of time and space, we will do that. Yes, but how will we measure it? We don't know. Point being, there are so many new routes that are being developed for trade and commerce between these new aggregate blocks, like the EU, like into Africa with China. Boy, that's a big one. I could talk days about it, but I won't. But there are hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of trade already gone. And this is the thing: the train has left the station because new agreements and new contracts were in place. And that's what when Trump was doing taco stuff, that's what was happening, where these trade agreements were getting forged because we give us time to make a deal. They were doing it. They just weren't doing it with us. That's the big problem. We are really going to be in for a punishing hangover when this party's over, and it's going to be like, I feel bad. I feel bad for all of us, because we are going to pay much higher prices. We are funding the tariffs, and I think that's finally starting to stick into some of the MAGA's brain. My head almost exploded when the New York Times said today in an article, they said Trump hit 60 countries with new tariffs that were devastating to the countries. And I'm like, wait a minute, one more time. We pay the tariff,
right?
Not them. What the hell is?
I just saw Lisa Joy's. There was a comment. She put tariffs are a regressive tax. It's like, yeah. Like, hello. It affects us.
How do you not understand that that's how it works?
I know. It's
so many people got duped into thinking this. Like, even when you see, I watch David Pakman a lot. He actually went on, oh God, I can't remember who the creator's name was, but it was somebody from the Manosphere. And it was that whole thing. And that person literally was saying to him, like, well, the countries pay the tariffs. And then David's like, no, that's not how it works. And he was like, well, that's, what Trump said. And he was like, you got to clip this. You have to clip this segment right here. And then he basically like explained to him exactly how it works. The dude was, and he was like in his 20s, and he was like, oh, I see. Wow. Like that was news to him.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. And so why is it, and I guess this is a question for maybe a bigger conversation later, but why is it that when Trump says something, even if it is 180 degrees wrong, I mean, it is opposite of right. It is not even close to right. You can't bend it. That statement of the company or the countries pay the tariffs. He said that stuff. Said it on the campaign trail. He said it. And the news media, even, another teacherkism is, worthless scribblers. Those guys write down everything he says and play it back in the news. I'm like, how is it that is allowed to sink into the American consciousness that way? And I wish I knew. I wish I understood. If you guys have insights, please,
Well, one thing about Trump, because I also watch a lot of, and now, Wendy, are you into like psychology and stuff? Is that your background? Is that why you guys, okay.
So to be very clear about this, I'm not going to openly admit to this, but I have a computer science background,
right?
That is then layered very heavily by an arts arena degree that, by the way.
So you're qualified to be my therapist, but you're not my therapist.
I'm qualified to be your therapist. And then a little bit further, I'm qualified to be your spiritual advisor.
Yeah. So,
well, let me just ask you this. Do you consider yourself a faithful Jesus person by any chance?
Who, me?
Me?
No, Lisa.
Oh, no. It's really, I'm spiritual. I grew up Catholic. Jesus,
I love Reformed Catholics. I'll just say that.
Reformed Catholic. And because I'm from an Italian family. My family's from Sicily. So
I'm shocked that you're from an Italian family.
Yes. So, but I mean, some of my family, my dad's an engineer. He's the atheist. And my grandmother always had like a very hard time with that. And my sister was telling me, she's like, the first book of Darwinism that we saw was in his library. We were like 7 years old. We were like, what is this? So that was,
That's the devil's work. Don't read that.
Exactly. So it's just so funny. But in terms of Jesus, though, it's really interesting because I always say that I feel, because I went into the spiritual route, more Eastern philosophy and everything, I feel like I have way more of a reverence for Jesus and what my idea of who Jesus may have been if he existed, that he was a man, and that the things that he said were very Buddhist to me. Like if you actually took the words themselves only, and then it got bastardized.
I'm just going to stop you right there. I'm literally going to stop you right there. I literally just finished writing a series of articles that are all going to come out like
really?
3 weeks. That will allow you to deconstruct a number of interesting things.
Oh, I love that.
Have you heard of
But I'll just say this. I'm fluent in Hebrew and Greek for a reason.
Good. Wow. That's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
wow.
I'm a real fun person to get around and talk to about those specific kinds of things.
Oh, I love it because I'm just it's endlessly fascinating.
Yeah, trust me. I will tell you this: it's a 26-part series, so it's going to take a month for it to get all out there. But I guarantee you, I will either lose subs viscerally because I'm deconstructing the entirety of that text, or people will love it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That sounds interesting.
I'm not sure what's going to happen, but
go ahead.
The reason why I said, or I asked, because I thought somebody made a reference to you having like a psychology background. So with Trump, how you just asked, how is it that this is possible that he could get away with this stuff? Now, Ruth Ben-Ghiat is that, the lady that is expert in fascism. Also, Dr. Bandy Lee and Dr. John Gardner, which I love them.
Yeah.
And from what they talk about and the comparisons that they make between him and Mussolini, they are like once in a lifetime figures that not many people possess the traits that they do to be able to galvanize a base the way they do. And thank God there's not many people like that.
Right,
Kind of like Jim Jones quality people. You know what I mean?
Take everything
right. Like, that's kind of like what it makes me think
I can't believe you just invoked Jim Jones.
I've got the vibe, though. I know exactly what she meant. And that was a great use of the English language there to bring him right here. Yep.
Yeah, but you see what I mean? Like, there's something about him, because I marvel at this too. Like, I'm like this cognitive dissonance. And also another thing too that drives me crazy, because not only because we talk about MAGA, right? And we know, unfortunately, as a matter of fact, Rick, I just came across, because I subscribed to your publication, and you wrote an article, The Dumbing Down of America. Is that what it is? That's the next thing that I got to read. And this kind of goes into that, where we talk about like people in MAGA in the rural areas that maybe their education is not so great. What about the people that are intelligent? What about the doctors and the lawyers and people that, and they don't have to be doctors and lawyers. There's many people that are intelligent that don't even have degrees. How did they fall for this bullshit? Right. And a lot of times I feel in the Republican arena, not even necessarily with MAGA, even before MAGA, it's that Republican ideology that they cling to, and this identity that they have about, this post-Reagan indoctrination that people had about like the individual, and about, don't trust the government. And you know what I mean? Like all of that stuff is so ingrained.
And baked right in there, the Western man mythology, right? That was the other thing that really hit it off with the East Coast guys, was that when he was in, he talked about this, he was the cowboy, even though he was only cowboy on the silver screen, right? Had that, he brought that ethos of the free man out on the, wilderness on the horseback, he was the Marlboro man, but without the Marlboros. But anyway, he was those things which made men, that were trying to find a stereotype, trying to lock into something. They focused on that, and there's a whole piece of a series of things. By the way, before you guys leave the topic of Buddhism and Eastern stuff, you might want to check out. You probably already have. If you haven't, check out Hermann Hesse. In terms of like, if you've heard of books called Siddhartha.
Yes.
The Glass-Bead game, just trying to rattle off a couple off the top of my head, but he got the Nobel Prize, and he is a prolific writer who's been, gone for a while, but he wrote a lot of great works that bridging between East and West. His whole shtick, his whole life was transformed when he moved into the foothills of Switzerland, and then also went into taking trips to the Hindu temples and so forth, and connecting the dots between what happens in Eastern thought and what happens in Western thought, and then writing novels and fiction that bring the two together.
Cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
And he has a, kind of a cult following, but I'm not part of that cult. I'm an avid follower of his, but just not in the cult thing.
I got to look that up.
At that level.
Oh yeah.
One more, speaking of Ronald Reagan. Now I'm full of anecdotes, so sometimes, so there's my sister's a hairdresser. She's got tons of, different types of clients from all walks of life. And I always thought, because we already know, people can change their philosophies. Of course they can. But Ronald Reagan, he was like the president of his union. He was a Democrat, like all this stuff, right? I kind of feel like he was obsessed with Nancy Reagan. Like, he loved that lady. And Ronald Reagan, like just the vibe about them, he looked like he was obsessed with this lady. And then I would also put him in the category of rare people that can galvanize a base. Like, he's an actor. He was able to do that. Now, this particular client of my sister, she's an older woman, and she used to be in political circles. And she remembers being at certain dinners where a young, like Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan, when they were like a new couple, I guess, and before he even became, this must have been before he was governor. And she was like, I found it so odd. He literally looked like a puppet on a string. And I was like, and that's what I was wondering. Did he get Nancy Reagan? And then I was wondering, because I was like, that's so weird that you say that, because I always wondered if
Very
that was something.
important. I'm going to stop you. I'm literally going to stop you right there. Very important. There's a reason for that. Do you know the rumor about Nancy Reagan?
I think tell me, but I think I heard some very salacious gossip. Yeah. And I wonder if that's okay.
It's not gossip. It's like known.
Okay.
She was the blowjob queen.
Oh, yes. You know what?
More people got blowjobs from Nancy Reagan.
So did we really?
Younger.
Did we really get into Reaganomics and shit because of that? Like if that, because like, could you imagine? Because this lady was telling my sister, like, no, like her family was very conservative and they were prominent. They were a prominent family, like in the conservative circles. And now here they got this guy, Ronald Reagan, to have that charisma, to literally, I mean, that the duping that he did of the American public and how he had people, so many people vote against our best interests. I mean, it really is incredible.
And yeah, I mean, I've said this before here on this show, is that on this live, is that I grew up in I'm Gen X, obviously. I grew up in a boomer son of boomers. And, I remember vividly the Reagan campaigns, plural, and my parents, being, educated, one's a blah, blah, blah. But anyway, them being into they got turned onto Reagan, and they were never going to leave. And it was only after kind of Bush #1 got in and the bus started to go wonky a bit that they started examining their beliefs again and go, maybe we were under some kind of a spell. Maybe that wasn't the true light, the path, and the way. It was more of a we got hypnotized. And
man. But putting that together with the blowjob thing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, like that literally, I'm like, oh man. Could you
awesome. Imagine? No. Wow. That is not what I can say of all the things I imagined to have happened on this live tonight. That was definitely not on the list. Holy shit. Okay, good. I love it. So I don't even know if there's a way to come back to Stephen Moran on that from where we've been, but I think the thing is, right now, we, the general people, and living our lives working class with working class amount of money, right now, I think we're on the uphill, or we're going up the hill right now as prices increase, and economic pressure increases, and the one big beautiful bill starts to tank as people realize what's getting pulled out from underneath them in red states, combined with the price increases that we're going to see from everything on Amazon, Temu, Shein, and and every other vendor on the face of the earth. I think there's a whole bunch of negativity that's going to start to flow out of this, and there's not going to be any. Well, you know what? I really wonder, after talking this through, like you would really with Wendy and Lisa, with your input, I really do wonder, with a guy in that charismatic zone of Trump, I wonder how much of it is going to require bricks to the back of the head for people to wake up to what the cause is. Because I think this is where we start the actual presidency of Trump, because it's kind of the legacy part, the stuff that's going to stick around for, generations in the textbooks, is going to be the next 6 to 8 months, is going to be the beginning of it. And then it'll be the unwinding and downfall. And I'm not a prophet. I don't put myself out there at all. Yeah, thank you. Well, now I am a prophet. Holy shit. Okay. My head spins.
I told you I was multilingual, bitch.
You are. Holy shisa. Okay, so yeah, but I think we're really going to see the uphill climb. It won't be in energy prices, but it'll be in the supermarket. It'll be in the going to the back to school stuff, all that. It's gonna be an uphill. It's gonna be an uphill battle. So that's my hot take on it. Boy, I really appreciate you bringing it up, because it's Stephen Miranda,
I look.
scary dude. Kevin let me tell you, keep an eye. Kevin Hassett on the watch list for the head of the Fed. And that guy is terrifying to think of Kevin Hassett, the eternally smiling clown asshat that gets on every Fox News thing. And he's always in front of, I don't know if he's got his own room in his house or he's got a big picture, mural of the White House behind him, but he's always standing in front of the White House whenever you see him on camera. Just take note of that, by the way. He's never not there unless he's alive with somebody. Putting him in charge of the Fed would be the worst idea in the world because the guy has no spine, he has no conviction, and definitely does not have the ability to say no to Trump. And that's the most important. That's the most important attribute Jay Powell brings to the Fed right now, in my opinion. The thing that keeps us all from losing our minds is, from interest rates just going up through the roof. So. Okay. Yes. The poet Miranda, you're right, Miranda. He'll do that. So that's yeah. Okay. I'll let you go. Sorry.
No. We've bled into the queer.
Yeah.
Emotion.
I will check out, guys. And you
Yeah.
you have a great. I hope you're doing well, and I'll stay on the Signal chat and everything else. So you take care, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, I should tell before you go. I want to tell everybody, if you become a paid subscriber, you get to come into the secure Signal chat, and we talk about really bad shit in that chat.
It is not for under 18. Okay. That's my last and only comment I'll make about that. But I love it. I think it's awesome. Bye.
Oh gosh. Okay. Let's see. So now we're gonna grab an Aaron. And at least I might have to sub you. We'll just see. Okay, here we go. Don't be ducking out on me. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm eating. Also, I don't have pants on.
I don't give a shit that you don't have pants on.
Well, I mean, I don't have. You're lucky I have clothes on. How's Vegas? Is Vegas cool?
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
My lights went off. Holy fuck! What the hell? It's suddenly dark in the room. I can't hear you, by the way, Lisa. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, we lost your audio. Oh shit! What the fuck? Why did my light go up? That's okay. There we go. All right.
Really,
yeah, we're back to
timer.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Lisa, I'm gonna sub you out for another Lisa. But I sent you a message. You should reply to it. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna get other Lisa in here, and then we're gonna talk queer shit. We're gonna talk queer shit. She better not be in the fucking pool.
No.
Okay,
I'm
you're not
in
in the
pool.
goddamn pool.
No, I'm not in the pool. Not in the pool at all.
Okay. All right. So I only had a couple of things for queer talk half hour to go through. So New Hampshire is now the first state in New England to ban gender affirming care.
It did?
New Hampshire. New Hampshire. I was kind of shocked by that. I was not aware that New Hampshire was all that particularly a red state.
I didn't either. I always thought of the northeastern part is pretty laid back. Liberal people farther east, farther north.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Wow.
And so now, and then the other bad thing that's happened is, Elaine, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking?
Well, thank you, I guess.
Oh, Aaron, I lost you. Um, all right, Aaron, did you come back? Yeah, you keep blipping out. Yeah, you
Okay,
keep
I'm
blipping
just
out. It's weird.
Switch to Wi-Fi real quick.
Okay, yeah,
not.
I just wanted to be sure because I don't like losing you. You asked the right questions.
Well, I'm just here for entertainment value.
Fuck off.
Oh no, I'm being silly. Never mind. Jeez.
You know what? You know what? Every live I do that you join now, I'm going to give you shit about Sunday. Because your girlfriend's going to come over, and then Monday's live is going to be what the fuck happened, and we all want to know.
Well, unfortunately, and I've actually shared that with somebody else. I there's I don't do people that aren't divorced. It's not that kind of person.
We're gonna have a chat. We're gonna have a chat
Well,
later.
we have to have principles at some point, Wendy. We can't all just be sluts like you.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I have principles.
I know. I'm just saying.
I have principles. Look, just because I can shove something obscenely long into my mouth does not mean that I don't have a constitution or principles. No, Eileen, I actually do lives on Sunday night. So Sunday to Thursday, and then Friday, the time is variable, and then Saturday is my day off. Saturday's the day I give myself to not do lives and shit. So, and then that it's been reconfirmed the Air Force is going to deny early retirement benefits for trans.
And they're the ones making them quit.
Yeah.
And
so on top of forcing everyone to quit, they're forcing them to quit, and that would be
taking away their retirement.
Which means they don't get retirement.
Right. After all the time they put in.
Yeah, which is bullshit.
If I suddenly scream because I got bit by a cat.
Yeah.
That's why I was moving the water bottles.
Look, you know, Elaine, don't talk to me about fucking hymnals, okay? Because you know what?
What about hymnals? I have some. I want a collection.
Let me get my other short list up. I really need to consolidate my short list better. So, and then so Pete Buttigieg made comments about trans athletes that were not positive.
Yeah, everybody's backpedaling somewhere between 10 degrees and 3,000.
And then in Georgia, it came out today that in Georgia, which is where I live, Georgia is forcing trans inmates to detransition, and the inmates are suing the prison system for discrimination. And I really hope that plays out, because I really want that to fucking play out.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This was the philosophical thing I wanted to talk about today and that's why we have Aaron here to talk about this, because I really, I need your opinion. I have notes about this, but I'm about to ask Aaron a question that's going to be very interesting. So the question is this, while I'm getting my notes up: why is masculinity strangling society?
Why is masculinity strangling?
Yes.
Like me personally, or just in general?
No.
Because honestly, I'm into being choked a little bit. But well, I mean, I know I shared that piece today that Taylor dropped, but just I hadn't, right, like the stuff about alpha males, I didn't know that it was based on like nonsense, but then just the whole, just that it's just a performance. I mean, in the way that like femininity, I mean, trad wives, like that's a performance. But I don't know if that answers your question though.
Well, men that are raised in toxically masculine households, they struggle to process emotions in a healthy way. I mean, there are many people, alpha males. No, Miranda, that's not a furry thing. Even if you want it to be a furry thing, it's not a furry thing.
I don't.
So, Miranda,
You're mimicking animal behavior. You
Rule
have to be
34,
more
Miranda.
ethical.
Rule 34. And by the way, because you've invoked that, you now have to tell everybody in the chat what Rule 34 is and why I'm quoting it. Because I'm not going to do it because I'm staying on target. My targeting computer is focused on my note. So the mental health crisis that that is caused by this, and so it encourages violence and substance abuse and self harm, and suicide rates go way the fuck up. And so the whole man up mentality or whatever that feeds directly into the alpha male toxic masculinity shit that I was forced to read earlier today because somebody sent me an article about it.
Sorry.
Because people think if they send me shit, that means I'm supposed to read it. That's how my brain works. I want to be very clear. If any of you send me something to read, if I read the first 2 paragraphs of whatever it is that you send me, I have to finish reading it. I will tell you that this is a curse. And to give you an example of how this curse works, I had a friend who bought a Harlequin romance novel, ripped the covers off because he knew that if I got 5 pages into it, I would obsessively have to finish reading it. And I've done that. And it was the trashiest shit.
What was it called? What was the title for a friend?
Oh no,
who wants to know?
it was one of Fabio's books.
Oh,
And yeah, I
okay.
mean, it was like she touched his purple headed love muscle, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why the fuck am I reading this?" I can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Now you're a lesbian. That was grooming. That groomed you.
As a trans woman, if that didn't make me a lesbian, yeah, game over. So here's the other problem: toxic masculinity poisons intimate relationships. I mean, who's going to argue with that? Are you going to argue with that? Lisa, toxic masculinity, because you've experienced that before, right?
Once or twice.
Yeah, and what did that do for your relationship?
Well, usually I never looked at the person again because I never got around them again. Except for the bosses. No, I quit jobs for that too. So yeah, I disappeared.
Well, like for example,
what relationship? I'm not there anymore.
Well, for example, so not to be overly revealing or whatever, you were married at one time, right?
Oh yes.
Okay. Could he communicate vulnerability to you at all?
Well, he was a diagnosed antisocial personality disorder.
Well, that means the answer is no. And did he view? Here's another question: did he view your relationship as a power struggle?
I'm not sure. I think he thought he usually won it. So
that's still whether he.
I mean, I don't. I was told I had to be a totally submissive person, and he was like fracturing things. So, power struggle wouldn't be the word for it. I was kind of like stomped on repeatedly.
That's still indicative of that struggle. Whether the struggle is boot heel on the side of the neck and you're in this because, yes, that's still indicative of
I just felt like there was no struggle back for me, so I don't see what the point
no,
was.
it's still no. I mean, even if you're dominantly getting the boot heel. Bye, Miranda. Thank you for coming. Always a pleasure.
Bye,
Love you,
Miranda.
dear. So yeah, Julie Elder. So
Julie says, yeah.
everything was a contest. So, and then here's the other thing. Did he believe that his self-worth was measured by either his intimacy prowess um, or physical prowess versus his ability to communicate emotionally?
He was actually a manipulative little bitch.
Right. So no emotional sensitivity.
Oh
Compassion.
no. The only thing he knew about emotions was try to how to make people do something if you manipulated them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that would make it bad.
Oh, okay, we have all of them. The cats came home.
Okay, so you have a bunch of pussies in the house now?
Yeah, I'm full up on pussy.
I don't know how that's possible.
Got
I don't know how
extra
that's
for
possible.
some reason.
So here's so Aaron, here's an Aaron question. Do you think the toxic masculinity fuels anger and violence?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if those are your only two emotions that you're allowed to have, like,
You also raised your daughters to be that, assuming that, because I would have to say I was kind of raised with a rather toxic masculinity mindset in the, you don't cry, stiff upper lip and all that. I guess there was a little bit of British too, but there was just this whole, you don't, sorry, I'm trying to get the cats food before they kill me. It's that time of day. You can't.
You're gonna get killed by pussy.
Yes. These are lethal pussies. If ever there was a lethal pussy.
I could think of better ways to, I could think of worse
Better ways to die?
Yeah, I could think of worse ways to go.
Well, how about covering cat scratches and bites?
So the reason that I bring this up was, one, because I was forced to read an article about this today, and I had to, right, as how to solve toxic masculinity. And so I thought about it, and then I broke out my DSM-4, and my DSM-3, because the DSM-4
You're behind the times. Isn't it 5 or 6?
Yeah. Well, no, the 5 is the current iteration, and I refuse to read that piece of shit because they put happiness as a codification in the DSM. Like, happiness and anger and sadness are now classifications in the diagnostic manual, and I'm like, well, that's bullshit.
Wow.
Right. So, yeah, right, Rachel. Revised. Just rip out those pages and ignore that they exist. So, dismantling toxic masculinity requires us to recognize, from a philosophical as much as from an emotional spectrum perspective, that masculine traits are not inherently harmful. Even further still, that they're not masculine traits.
No.
Strength, protection, and leadership, those are not inherently, purely, and never any other than a masculine trait.
Right.
There are feminine individuals who can exhibit those traits and still be feminine. That feeds into the whole gender binary. And the toxicity emerges when those become rigid requirements rather than just flexibility optional items, when they exclude emotional intelligence and vulnerability. So if you're with a guy and he can't communicate emotionally or vulnerably about himself, that's probably a sign they have some toxic masculinity going on, and you don't want to be any part of that. Versus being a healthy masculine person, which embraces the entire spectrum of the human experience. Men can be strong and gentle, protective and nurturing, confident and humble. It recognizes that true strength often means admitting weakness. I don't know why guys can't do this. As a person who was previously male, viscerally male identifying, I would tell you that no, I did not communicate vulnerability at all well. Now, I will say that changed when I started injecting myself with massive doses of estrogen. And then I started watching Hallmark movies and crying halfway through the fucking Hallmark movie. Oh my God, this is horrible. Why doesn't he love her? I should also point out that when I started injecting estrogen into my body, that I also stopped taking antidepressant medication. Which was a very interesting. I can't. I can't want that. So society heals when we stop forcing the population to behave in the way that we think that they should behave, rationally or otherwise, I guess.
Right. You end up with. I get frustrated even now. People like, not terribly, but when you were talking about chapstick versus lipstick lesbian versus whatever, and it's like, darn it, I was trying to stay out of the stupid boxes, and now I'm getting new ones.
Is chapstick lesbian different than lipstick lesbian?
Yes, completely.
Yes.
Do you not understand?
I know about lip.
Okay. No, we had this talk. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
So,
Also, what flavor of chapstick? Is it unscented?
no,
or
there's okay. There's dichotomy. All right, so a lipstick
Are you inside
lesbian,
or outside the box?
right? Okay, so a lipstick lesbian is a high femme, which it will shock you to probably know that most of the time, that's the energy that I tend to give off. When I go to bed at night, I have my like facial routine and I put on all my creams and shit. And yeah.
Okay.
My underthings are very lacy. And I wear dresses all the time. And so, right. Anyway. So, but the chapstick lesbian, that's the low maintenance lesbian who favors practical and casual jeans, t-shirts, minimal makeup, with chapstick being her primary beauty product.
Okay.
Chapstick lesbians are also called crunchy granola lesbians.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then like you have gold stars, and my friend Renee is a gold star lesbian.
Okay.
You know what that means?
Like she can pull women back from like
no. Gold star
no.
lesbians are lesbians that have never had a relationship with a guy ever.
Oh,
Gold star lesbians have never
bitches.
been with a man physically, nor had a relationship with a man. And then you have baby dykes. But my baby dyke story is hilarious. But I've told it a bunch of times. So, but yeah, and so then like outside of that, so then you have like the butch and femme spectrum, stone butch, and then so yeah, there's like types, which is funny because like for the gay male,
Laura wants further explanation.
Yeah, Laura, I'm really trying to explain it. But what's even funnier is like on the gay side of the equation, it's even funnier. Like the gay male thing, like you know what a twink is, right?
Mhm.
Oh my god, you know what a twink is, really?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're my favorite, I think. Well, I don't know. I mean,
Here's the thing. That's and that if you know what the acronym stands for, then I really will. I will respect you a little bit more than I do already.
oh, I don't think I knew the acronym.
Oh, yeah, it's an acronym. The acronym is
Okay.
teen, white, and into no kink.
Oh, I didn't realize the no kink thing. Okay.
Yeah, into no kink. Yeah,
Okay.
teen. Yeah, young. So basically, young, 18 to 23,
Mhm.
white, and then not
Yeah.
into not into any kink of any kind. So that's why twink, which is abbreviated from Twinkie, which basically means white, kind of nominally filling filling on the inside, and also twinks are not known for their intelligence level, but yeah, and so then like bears, you know what a bear is?
Mhm. Also
Listen,
my
you know what a
favorite.
bear is? Okay, so bears are like the larger, heavy set, very hairy individuals. Otters are the skinny version of bears. Um, wolves are total top guys who are skinnier than bears, and they're almost predatory. And then there's the daddy mentality, so that's older, white-haired, hairy men. The jock mentality, the leather daddy, and then the power bottom, which uh, which is that's the person that likes to get. Karen, I would say that Lawrence is actually probably more a daddy than a bear. But yeah, you could be both. You could be both. Um, you could be both. By far. So there's your queer education for one night.
Thank you.
I mean, because you didn't know this stuff, and probably other people
I
didn't.
was pretty sure I at least knew what a couple of them were. One thing my son said, if he was gay, he said he would be a bear, and I know what my son's like, so.
Well, I mean, it's like okay, like when Gizmo, my child at 16, asked me, "Mom, what's tribbing?" And I went, "Oh, Jesus Christ! Why do we have to? Why the fuck do we? Why the fuck do we have to have this talk?" Um,
That's my least favorite word of like, I don't know. I don't know. There should be a second.
Okay, Lisa, do you know what tribbing is?
No, no, I don't think so.
Okay, here we go.
No, you started it.
Uh,
Isn't it just female fraudage?
no. There's a whole,
Oh, okay.
there's a whole sort of, yeah. Tribbing is the no, because fraudage is just rubbing.
Right. Okay.
Tribbing, however, is scissoring.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, scissoring, and so tribadism. Uh, 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 so yeah, having to explain that to a 16-year-old uh, is rather well. Anyway, so um, uh, versus what is it? Index joy.
Oh, I don't know
You
that.
use those two fingers to make sure you don't
Okay.
have. Use those two fingers to make sure you don't have fingernails.
Yeah.
Dry
Okay.
humping,
Mhm.
and then there's implement engagement. Which if you date a trans guy, do what?
You told her about detachable shower heads, right? Too the magic of those.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay, good. You're a good mom. That's all that matters.
No. I mean, those things have 3 speeds: low, high, and oh fuck, I don't need a person. Low, medium, and no, I don't need anybody.
Yeah, I'll see you in 3 hours.
The sad part about it is that my tub does not have that option.
It isn't hard to replace a shower head.
I'll take a photo of my tub one day and you'll see one.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll
Okay.
see. Yeah, you'll see. Yeah,
I actually replaced my shower head after I moved in here.
Well, if you're in the gay community, if you're a gay male person, having an appropriate shower head that can be used for cleansing things is there's like they make shower heads with that attachment attached to it, and right. Anyway.
Julie, what's up? Yeah.
Julie, I feel like we're starting to engage in book club discussion. Can we not have book club discussion when, book club discussion, we're only supposed to talk about that during book club, and we're not having book club right now. That's no, we're not doing, we're not. So, all right. So now I have to ask. So, yeah, here you go, Lisa. Are you the little spoon or the big spoon?
I'm not sure.
What?
What?
You don't know if you're the little spoon or the big spoon?
No, I don't. You have to tell me something, I guess. And the cats just got away. And the chickens are going to bed.
I can't believe that we have to have this talk. Okay.
Yes, we have to have this talk.
Okay, so
I mean, the only spooning I know about is like boy girl spooning. I'm not sure if it's the same thing, and so I figured I better say I don't know. So anyhow, I don't know.
No, I agree. So regardless of my size, now I'm 6'6" and I weigh about 240 now, 242.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say this with you understanding that I'm the little spoon. I've always been the little spoon. Even when I was a straight guy, I was the little spoon because I did not want to be the big spoon. So when you're laying next to somebody, the big spoon is the one in the back, and the little spoon is Karen. I mean, you're killing me with that already. And then the little spoon is the big spoon is the cuddler, and the little spoon is the cuddly. Does that quantify it for you, Julie? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The big spoon is the cuddler, and the little spoon is the cuddly.
I've never been much to cuddle because I get too hot and no one wants to be beside me. So they're like, no, I can't sleep with you near me.
Honey, Lisa, if you and I ever get into bed together, there's definitely going to be cuddling. I'm just going to tell you. That's how it's going to play out. Okay. Okay. If we're in bed, there's got to be cuddling. I don't live in a no cuddle world.
I keep getting to the edge of my signal for some reason, even though I got bar 5G and I'm trying to make dudes shit.
Okay.
Anyhow, they're being jerks anyhow.
Yeah, well, at some point
they don't care.
At some point we could talk about the pretzel dip, but I don't know if tonight's the night for that.
Ooh.
The pretzel dip?
Is it mustard?
What's it taste like?
The precedent? Oh, it doesn't taste like anything. That's a leg intertwining fingering position.
Oh, I think I've seen some of these pictures before.
If you've done some
Is there an instruction manual
if you've
somewhere?
done internet searching, yes, of course. I mean, you know. I mean, you've been in a 69 before, right? That's
yeah.
okay, well then sure. I mean, it's you could do that sideways, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better like that. Men must have come up with that because the idea of being the 9, I'm like, can you get your dick out of my throat? Like, I can't breathe. I'm dying down here.
Well, my favorite one, and I'm a trans woman, and I say this: the lotus, the giant lotus.
Okay.
But I think about the thing with the giant lotus is you have to be with somebody that does not have a significant amount of body mass.
Okay.
So for the lotus to work, one of the people involved has to be a lower body mass person. But it's a very pleasurable experience. I can't believe we're talking about this, but I mean, why not?
So is it like sitting like cross-legged in someone else's lap?
So yeah,
Like
so person one sits
Oh,
cross-legged
okay.
this way, sits cross-legged this way. The other person wraps their legs around the other person and sits down in front of them, and then wraps their legs around the other person who's sitting Indian style. And so that's called the giant lotus or whatever. And I will say though, that is that position of female to female interaction is also a very strongly implement focused position. It helps to have an implement attached somewhere to
see that.
Engage in that activity. I can't believe we're having lesbian 101 classes on the live
Someone's
tonight.
got to get me ready.
But
it's giving me a boner. So
if I could call my friend Renee up right now and just tell her, hey, Renee, I need you to travel out to Kansas City or whatever. I've got this friend, and you need to give her the class that you gave me like 30 years ago or whatever. And it's funny because I actually talked to her recently, and I told her, I was like, I tell my readers about that experience, and she's like, Wendy, are you still good at it? Do you need a fresher upper? And I'm like, no, I haven't had anybody complain about my prowess there. I have had people look me dead in the face and say, how in the fuck were you ever a straight male? How in the fuck were you ever a straight male?
That's going to be such a good compliment.
I don't. Yeah,
there are holes here.
Do what?
Oh, there.
We're losing Lisa
Flat.
Joy.
And then I get to find the holes the hard way.
Do what?
The dog has dug holes all over the yard. And then the grass grew back in the hole, and the mower cuts it off flat so you don't see the dip. And I'm finding holes by stepping in them because I can't tell that they're there until I hit them.
Don't put the things in the holes that you're not supposed to put there.
I can't even find the hole. That's my problem. I don't see it first.
That's a problem that virtually every guy has in his life at least once. Is finding the goddamn hole. And I want to be very clear, by the way, as a person who was formerly male identifying, finding the right hole and not the wrong hole was a thing I had a problem with. Thank God, as a trans woman, you only have one option. Oh, God saved me when, my bottom surgery happens. And then, well, anyway, I would never choose to be with a guy even after that surgery happens.
kitty cat.
until I'm, you know,
Lost
dead or whatever.
2/3 of my pussy.
What did you say about?
I lost 2/3 of it.
We'll get it
Two
back.
out of 3 cats.
Put the pussy back where it belongs.
Well, they're the ones
Do
who
you have
got
a
loose.
detachable pussy? No,
Detachable pussies.
I feel like the dude that wrote the detachable penis song should do that for a vagina too. By the way,
Yeah.
did you know that
Why?
there's a song called? Yeah, there was an '80s song called "Detachable Penis."
I never heard it. No, not you two.
Julie Elder, am I getting the whole thing done? Yes. Yes, Rachel, exactly. King Missile was the person who wrote the song Detachable Penis, and it's fucking hysterical. Yeah. Kind of in a I guess like late 80s, early 90s. I don't know. It's kind of like as funny as, like, I don't know, They Might Be Giants. So if you're a They Might Be Giants fan, then King Missile is a yeah, Julie, vagioplasty. And so yes, the answer is that yes, I will eventually have that surgery. You know, I already have half of it done, so you know, I'm missing 2 of the 3. I'm missing 2 of the 3. I'm missing 2 of the 3 problems. Excuse me. Um, that complicate that situation. Julie, it is a big one. Vagioplasty is like a 6-month recovery. With lots of dilation that you have to do thereafter. The first year after vagioplasty, you have to dilate 3 times a day. And if you don't understand what dilation is, I literally will tell you, you have to place an implement into your freshly made canal 3 times a day and make sure that adhesions don't grow in or whatever. Yeah, Rachel, thanks for coming. Yeah, I've revealed way more about myself in this conversation than I've wanted to. Yeah, Karen, it's a real commitment, but I have a bunch of trans sisters that have all done it and they're happier for it. And so as a trans woman, yes, it is a natural thing that is going to happen for me eventually. Yeah, if you don't understand what dilation is, don't get pregnant. Don't get pregnant. Horrible idea. Okay. Ladies, do you have anything else? Are you going to do a porch swing thing after this, Lisa?
I probably will. Just in a few minutes. Hope that the rest of my cats come back.
Oh. Okay. Well, my iPad's about to die, but I need to figure out what I'm going to do if I'm going to damage my arteries further by walking over to White Castle for dinner.
Ooh.
That could be fun.
White Castle. Because I don't have White Castle in Atlanta. I have Crystal. But they're basically the same restaurant.
I don't have either. Not close, at least.
Do what now?
I said I don't have either White Castle or Crystal Close. I don't think. I don't recognize. I mean, I know about White Castle. Near me.
White Castle is what you go to eat after you've taken 6 gummies at night.
Closest one is Columbia.
Oh, how far away is that from you?
Over an hour.
Yeah,
it's 81 miles, so an hour and a half. Not gonna get that delivered over here, I don't think.
Okay, cool. All right, well, ladies, then I guess with that we'll bring it to a close, and I'll figure out what the fuck I'm going to do for dinner. Thank you both, by the way.
Bye-bye.
So I'll look for you after my iPad recovers from
Okay.
whatever the fuck it.
I have
Yes,
plugins.
thank you, Lisa. Also, Lisa, I sent you a message. If you can reply to that, Aaron. Thank you as always, of course.
Thank you.
Good night.
I heard about you earlier today, by the way, but I'm not going to call you out on that. So, yes,
Who are you talking
yes,
to, Mom?
that one. Yes, that
Me?
one, not this one. No, we get to talk
I
later.
still don't get it, but that's okay.
No, we get to talk
Have
later.
fun tonight. Don't die.
Yeah, we're good, ladies. Aaron, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yep. And so, wow, that was a great night. Thank you, everyone. 112 people, amazing. I will tell all of you, stay safe. I can't do this without you guys. We can't do this without each other. So let's all just stay together. If you're new here, please subscribe. We're fun and we're great people. If you're a free subscriber, consider supporting the publication because supporting the publication is the only way that I keep writing instead of having to do other things, which I would really just rather write and not do those things. And so with that, I will tell all of you good night. I love you all. Stay safe. I won't see you tomorrow. So I will see everybody again on Sunday afternoon.